And selfie. Yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mechanical Keyboards Live with Ski with Pete. I am not Ski with Pete. I'm JB, but you already knew that. And today we're going to be building this sweet mechanic Fjell. This is a round one Fjell that I've had for quite some time that has gone unbuilt. I'm going to be building it with our spanking new one-up keyboard GON PCBs, top of the line PCB, and then I have Cherry MX Silence. These are pretty sweet. These have the SMD, not the SMDs. These still have diodes in them. So I've already kind of gotten a head start in opening a bunch of the switches up to remove the diodes, and along with that I will be swapping in 80-gram springs, and yeah, and then we'll be putting everything together with some sweet Hyperfuse DSA and a carbon fiber universal plate. So let's see, chat. We got a couple people here today. For those of you that are here, if you haven't already, make sure you give us a thumbs up, a like on the video, and if you are new to the stream, make sure you subscribe. That way you can stay tuned to future streams, most likely with Pete. Sometimes I'm here just causing trouble. Right, Steph?
Right.
Yep. So anyways, welcome to my midday Wednesday hangouts. Like Pete said in the chat, he is at work today. I do not have work for the rest of the year because I'm lazy. So here we are building a keyboard. Here, I'm just gonna keep going on these, try to get them fast. But I see a couple people mentioning the Fjell. I'll show you guys the board in a sec. Boom. So the Fjells had two different color purples. I want to show you guys the PCB too. So that's the Fjell with its sweet angles, all the chamfer you can get. And in my case, sweet brass weight, numero dos, round one. And let me take the screws out. And probably the biggest joy of a Fjell is slipping that brass weight in. Yeah, it's such a nice fit. But sweet board. That's the underside with the brass weight on there. But yeah, so this is what we'll be building today. And then soon, Steph, soon. Still got a little bit of time to go before I make the move. And then these are the brand spanking new NerD, the GON NerD 60s with the one-up logo on them. Probably highest end PCB you can get that isn't RGB, which that only leaves you with one option, and it's the Seal 60. So we'll be building that today. And yeah, like I said, I'm just working on these Cherry MX Red Silence that I'm opening up. These come here. I'm gonna show you a full one. Let me switch to action cam here if I can find the button. Boom. So the MX Silence come with diodes on them. So there's these additional legs. Let me see if I can go focus back here. There we go. So we have these additional legs. So I got to open the switches up, get those out. I'll do one on camera here, see if I can keep focus on it. And since I have to open all of these up anyways, and I like heavier switches, I will be swapping out 80-gram springs into them. So this is what makes the silent red silent. If you can see those little white legs, they basically absorb the shock of the slider bottoming out and coming back up, and that's what makes them silent. And then let me see, where's the case that I just had? And then here you can see on the inside of the red, you have this little diode. It's a regular diode, but on some cherry boards, this is how they would work. You just have it all built into the switch, and then they just put it on the PCB, and you're good to go without any additional soldering. So right now, just working on getting all those out, and then I have 80-gram gold springs that we'll be putting into these once I'm done opening them. We'll close them back up and then get to soldering them into the board. See, we got some more people in. Raul, what's up, Raul? Harshit, is that how you say your name? That's a tough one. Panzer, I've had these silent reds for a long time before the silent blacks were even available. Plus I would have to spring swap anyways because I like heavier than blacks. So there was no need for me to really have to buy another batch of silents. This build has kind of been in the making for a long time. So some of the stuff I have here, you know, the new Fjells are about to come out. I'm still building my round one. So I've had this stuff sitting around for some time, which is why I have reds. Didn't feel the need to have to get blacks. Like I said, considering that I was going to spring swap anyways. Yeah. But I think I'm about halfway done opening all these switches. Thankfully, it's not that many for a 60%. Except that I start getting shaky when I'm on stream, and it makes it harder to open these damn switches. Alright. So what else has everybody been up to? Everybody gearing up for the holidays? Steph's asking about group buys. Not any recent ones. I've been on the Moon TKL group buy. Which was on Keycap. I got a black on dark gray, so black top, dark gray bottom, so it's gonna be pretty stealthy. Looking to do white on black keycaps on it, so it's gonna be a full dark build. And I was lucky enough to win some bros during the Halloween sale. So I have some black and white bros that'll fit nicely on there. Some of you know I like my Artisans, so. German ISO translucent PBT double shots. That's a tough one. I don't know who currently is carrying PBT with translucent double shots. It's been a while since I've looked for those. But as far as, like I was talking about the group buys, I haven't really gotten on anything else. I try not to go in too deep. I'll try to like hop on one group buy and then wait till that actually fulfills before I put money into the next, as sometimes they tend to go wrong and you don't get your stuff and you lose your money, and I don't like to be out money. And my phone's going off like crazy here. Yeah, people messaging me on my phone. No, alright. I'm actually talking with another member of the community. about doing some builds for them. They have a time TKL that I'll probably be building on the stream once those ship. So that'll be kind of like being part of that group buy, except I didn't have to pay for it and I don't get to keep the board, but it'll be fun building. I did not get on the DevTTY keycaps just because I tend to avoid mass drop. It's because I don't like the way they do business. So I haven't gone on any mass drop group buys in well over a year at this point. So that kind of causes me to miss out on some stuff. But if there is anything that I must have, I'll either buy it from a community member on Met Market, or I'll just suck it up and not buy it at all. Raul's asking what phone I have. A pretty standard Galaxy S7. It's been decent to me, so I haven't had a need to replace it. I'm not super into phones, so I'll usually rock them until they work no more. My previous phone before this, I held on to my S3, my Galaxy S3 for the longest time. So just buy them new and then actually get to end the life of the phone and then upgrade. Phones are too much money nowadays anyways. Spotter Gamer is asking, where can you buy a keyboard like this? At this very moment, this keyboard is not available for sale anywhere. There are similar ones out there. I think the KBD fans 5 degree case has been pretty popular lately. It has a similar design, and you can get it on his website, I think, on whatever, kbdfans.com or whatever. But this is a Mechanisk Fjell, and they are Leandrin is currently prepping a group buy for the round 2 Fjells. So if you want this particular design, I would stay tuned on Mechanical Keyboard subreddit, as I'm sure there will be announcements happening. So the Bluetooth module, yeah, this board, sorry, I forgot to answer that. This board is compatible with the Bluetooth module. Unfortunately, I have not had the opportunity to build one, and that mostly comes down to the Bluetooth requires you to have a lot of space in your case, because you do have to have a battery and stuff wired in. So I don't know if you can see, but there's literally only like 3 mil of spacing between the PCB and the bottom of the case. So there isn't any room to really stick a battery in here, and that's kind of been the biggest deterrent for me as far as doing a Bluetooth build. So GeoStriber was asking, what exactly am I doing with the switches? Well, these are Silent Reds, and I'll demo it again. Let me see here. So these are Cherry Silent Red switches. They're very nice switches. They're kind of like the latest generation of Cherry switches. And in my case, my Cherry Reds came with additional pins, which you can kind of see here. So you have the 2 regular pins that go into the PCB, and then you have, for certain PCBs, they require diodes. So these switches come with the diodes already installed. My board has SMD diodes pre-soldered in, so I don't need these pins, and they'll actually prevent me from installing the switches. So I'm opening up the switches and taking those out, and here I'll show you really quick. So it's a little tedious, but I'm also taking the opportunity as I open the switches to swap the springs to much heavier springs. So here you can see this is the diode. Let me see if I can get this to focus. So that's a diode, and I'm removing those. Boom. Take those out, set it aside, and I won't need that. And here I'll show you how those same diodes are already pre-soldered onto the board. Just move this over here real quick. So you can tell here, my Fjell. So these are basically the same thing that I'm taking out, and I'll show it to you side by side. This board doesn't require them. They're already installed. So I'm taking them out. So unfortunately, you gotta do it one by one. But since I'm opening the switches to do that, I also have springs. We have 80-gram springs, gold-plated every 80-gram springs. So I will be swapping the factory springs on these, which I believe are 45-gram, I think. I'm always really bad with remembering the weights. With 80 grams, because I'm a heavy typist. That keeps me from whacking my keyboard too hard. Meanish asks, which LED holes are positive and negative on the GH60 Ref C? So Ref C is basically GH Satan. You should have markings on the PCB that denote which side should go where. I can maybe get up in a little bit and check one for you, but I'm gonna try to finish these so we're not streaming for forever. We do have a YouTube kind of has a 4-hour limit on the streams, otherwise we lose the ability to replay the stream on the channel, so don't want to take too much time. Spotter Gamer asks if there are finished keyboards on this site. I'm not sure which site you're talking about. If you're talking about oneupkeyboards.com, there are some pre-builts that were done on the stream. I believe right now there's maybe a couple 40% and some 60% available. As far as Mechanisk, there are no pre-builts on Mechanisk. You basically just buy the case from them, and you have to source the rest of the stuff yourself and build your own keyboard. Oh, that's right, Pete. There is a giveaway happening on the stream, if I can find the stuff. But there is a Gleam.io link in the description. All you have to do is sign up, and let me see. Give me one sec. Is this the stuff? Yeah. So, if you win, you got a nice little care package here. I believe there's a key pullers, bunch of stickers, a DIY cable, switch openers, a little CNC key tester. So it's a nice little goodie bag for the holidays that can keep you busy on your days off. So make sure you guys subscribe, and for those of you, I see a lot of new faces. If you guys haven't, make sure to give us a like, and if you want to come back for more, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're always trying to do some fun stuff. Yeah, removing the diodes is definitely a great opportunity to do the swap. I was gonna lube them during this live stream, but I decided that I really wanted to see how well these worked without lube. I can always open them back up and lube them at a later time. You know, I hate getting a switch and just like 100% modifying it, then you don't really know. You know, it's hard to be like, oh yeah, silent reds are great on their own, and then you realize that you've only ever, you know, typed on modded silent reds. So this will give me an opportunity to kind of test silent reds on their own in their natural, mostly natural state. I don't think the weight affects the feel all that much. But yeah, I will most likely be lubing these at a later time. I don't really believe in stickers. I think they're just for show. And since these are full black cases, I don't think there's going to be much show. But I do tend to lube most of my switches. Use them. Let's see what else. I got a couple questions. Let's see. Steph asked if I'm enjoying my Telios build. My Telio's Clipe is my daily driver right now at home. It's been now, what, almost 2 months. It is a phenomenal board. I'm super stoked, which has got me super stoked for this one. Probably once I lube them, I think the Silent Reds will be on par, if not maybe better than the Telios. But yeah, they are phenomenal switches, and those switches I've kept stocked so far. I might at a later date also lube them, but they are so smooth. They're really, really nice switches, and they were 67 grams, so they're a little lighter than I like. Honestly, 80 grams is like my perfect weight, but they're so nice. I haven't bothered trying to modify them yet. Next, Meanish here. Let me give me a few minutes and I'll pull up a board and check. I'll check the order. You might have better luck if you just look up a picture of a GH60 online that actually has the markings on it, and then just follow that as a guide for yours. Usually all the rows are the same except the space bar tends to be flipped. The LED tends to be flipped, and I know that because I've messed that up a bunch of times. And what else? Yeah, the reds are 45 gram. Yeah, way too light. I mean, anything below like 65, I already feel like not only do I hit keys accidentally, but I just don't get the type of feel that I like. So, like usual, just spring swap. Time consuming, but not that hard to do. Thanks for hitting that like button, guys. Next question by Panzer. Celia's and B-Sun Browns. Still the best tactile non-clickies. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Celia's are still top of the line. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but if you're looking for the most extreme tactile you can have before you go clicky, I think Celia's are still number one. B-Sun Browns are a close second for sure. They're definitely a more... The way I describe them is they're a more tactile version of Browns without all the crispness of the Celios. So the Celios, the way the bump comes in is a very sharp kind of like slope on the switch profile. The B-Sun Browns is a little smoother, so you have almost as big of a bump, but it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not as tactile, which honestly I kind of prefer more. It's just a smoother, I don't know, it's just a smoother feel. But again, if you're looking for maximum Felias, go with Celios. GeoStrubber asked why I chose cherry reds. Well, Geo, these are silent reds. So I'll show you. I showed earlier, but that's why we're here. Everybody's learning stuff. So on a regular switch, let's see. On a regular switch, you don't have the little legs, those little white parts that you see on here. They basically not muffle sound, but they they soften the landing of this inside the housing, so you don't generate as much noise from the switch. And currently, well, when I got these, Cherry was the only one that had silent switches. Gateron and I guess Seal as well, which kind of is Gateron, have come out with their own versions of these. So it wasn't that I necessarily chose these in particular versus any other switch. These were just the only ones available at the time that I bought these, and that's, like I was saying earlier, that's been a couple months now. So I've been hanging on to this build for some time. We just haven't had the time to make it happen. But here we are today. Let's see. Anyone else like panda stottles? I haven't built panda stottles. I built some Stottles. I think Pete did a build at some point, and I know we tested some switches, and they were super tight. Way crisper than anything else that I've built or tried, for that matter. So yeah, it's a lot of money to build panda stottles. It's a lot of, I mean, anytime you do modded switches like that, I tend to not like doing that, because in the end you end up with like one set of great switches and then one set of pretty much useless switches that nobody wants to use. But yeah, they are great. Let me, once I finish opening all of these, before I move on to putting the springs in, I will grab stuff to show you guys. I'll grab a B-Sun Brown. If I can muster up a Zelio, I will show you some of the differences up close. I believe they were made by Inver, yes. And that is correct. Pretty much, other than these silent reds, well, a lot of this stuff here obviously isn't available on one-up keyboards, which is kind of what I do when I come on the streams. It's more of a general keyboard community builds, and other random stuff. But if you're looking for switches, obviously they are available. A great majority of the stuff out there is available on oneupkeyboards.com. That includes seal switches and Gateron and Cherry MX switches. We do have some Kale. We have a lot Kale speed switches, which I do plan on doing a build with them soon. They are different. The shorter actuation does give them a different feel, but yeah, I can imagine lubing pandas for panda stottles. Feels great. I don't know if you guys know, but I've ruined green switches in the past by trying to lube them, so I will never lube a clicky switch ever again. Not because I don't think I can make it work, but I'm scared. I'm scared of having to ruin another set of switches. What did I miss? I don't know what question Panzer is referring to. Oh, he's Raul's answer. Yeah, the B-Sun Browns are basically the tactile version of the pandas. They do have clear top housings, so they're not exactly the same, but it is kind of the same build, just a tactile version. Pretty smooth. I mean, really, as far as the feel of the switch, like I was saying earlier, it's almost a Zelio at a much better price point. Just not as crisp on the bump, but similar sized bump. So you still get, there's still a lot of feel. It's just not as crisp. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Yep. I did build a B-Sun Brown board a while ago. I only have 3 tactile boards. One is my Plank, which has OG Cherry MX clears. Then I have my JD40, which has round 1 67 gram Zelios, which had quite a bit of issues with, had some chattering and stuff, but I was able to fix them. and then my B-Sun Brown HHKB 60% that I built a few months ago. And out of the three, I mean, I daily drove my plank for a long time, but I've probably used the B-Sun Brown board about as much as my plank. And I'm not super big fan of tactiles, but they are definitely nice switches. Yeah, see, I'm kind of on the same boat with you. Like, there's something about, like, there's almost too much feels on the Celios. And I think just the B-Sun Browns just hit that like middle ground. Browns honestly feel like utter crap to me on the regular. Gateron Browns, no me gusta. Cherry MX Browns, too light. Cherry MX Clears, great. B-Sun Browns, fantastic. That's kind of how I would rate them. What are my favorite keycaps that I've bought? Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know that you could say that there's a favorite. I mean, it depends. Do I feel like typing on SA today? Do I feel like typing on Cherry Profile? It kind of changes. I mean, I'm about to do a DSA build. I haven't done a DSA build in a long time, and I'm super excited. I've been Hyperfuse DSA was kind of like one of the original custom sets that came out. So once they once they remade or did a round 2, I guess, I definitely had to hop on that. I also have Hyperfuse SA on my 96 key build, and I love typing on that board. So really, I'm not super picky as far as the key sets and all that stuff. Like, I can switch between ortho and staggered, no problem. And honestly, Keycap profiles I enjoy equally. If I had to pick, I think just Cherry Profile is just kind of what I'm most used to over the years. So definitely Cherry Profile in particular, the GMK sets are very, very nice. What do I think of Gateron Clears? Gateron Clears are, what, 35 gram linears? They are way too light. I mean, if you're, I don't know, if you like breathing on your keyboard and typing that way, then Gateron Clears are for you. Steph is laughing back there. Yeah, I can't use a Gateron Clear to save my life. I will literally just jumble up anything I try to type, because I have relatively big hands. I'm relatively sloppy typer, and I will depress all the keys. Alright. I didn't actually count how many switches I took out. I think I should be close to 60 words. Once I finish this batch, I'll go ahead and put springs in, start closing them up, and then we can get to soldering, the good stuff. Oh, Raul, that's not, you don't talk about that. They're asking how much I think all the keyboard stuff I own right now is worth. No.
Isn't that kind of like Fight Club? First rule
Yeah, that's first rule of Fight Club. First rule of Keyboard Club. Don't ask how much. I mean, you can take a guess about how much the stuff on the desk right now is worth, and maybe multiply that times
How many boards do you have?
like 13, 14. And that's just straight That's maybe just straight keyboard stuff. I also have a bunch of Artisans, which cost a lot of money at retail price. And then once you think about how much some of the stuff is worth aftermarket price, you could say that my Artisan profit margin is better than Bitcoin's right now. But I do not sell my Artisans above retail, so. Steph, people are saying hi to you.
Hi.
In particular, Panzer. She is currently sitting on the couch, laughing at me, as she tends to do.
Not at you.
Not at me.
I'm laughing at your comments like 35. Switches are a bit light for you.
They're a bit light for you too, aren't they? And you like light switches.
Yeah, I haven't tried those yet.
I thought you'd tried Pete had a build that was way too light.
I like clicky.
Yeah, Steph is a clicky person. She's got them Agatistotles on her main board right now. But she likes regular blue springs. What's that, 45 gram? Still too light. Still too light. Ah, Raul. Isn't that like rule 2? I have a lot. I have at least 2 boards with a full F row of Artisans. And then I have usually at least 1 Artisan per board. Let me see. I'm gonna do this the weird way and just pull up on pictures on my phone and show you. Yeah, Gio, that would be a nice resto build. There's some nice boards. Let's see. What's going to be easier? I'm going to switch to action and selfie. So that's my gamer set or my WASD set on my Real Force on my RF87U. Then there is my one of TKL, and this is an outdated picture. I don't know how well that's not focusing very well, is it? I can post all these links later, but that's all a bunch of stuff on there. And that's my CZ96, also full of Artisans on the top row. So there's a lot. Probably some would say too many. Steph would definitely say way too many, even though she has a ton of them herself. But she just likes to judge me like that. And of course, I mean, I don't know if anybody noticed, but there's a nice little Keyforge baggie over here, because this wouldn't be my build without an Artisan. So I might show you guys what it is before the end of the stream. If anybody can guess what it is.
You get a thumbs up.
Yeah, you get a thumbs up. I was like, what do I do? Maybe I could give a different Artisan away. Maybe I'll do that one of these days.
You're bragging rights.
I do have some stuff that I don't really use that I could give back to the community. Let's see. There's some questions happening that I'm not seeing here. But yeah, the answer on how many Artisans I have, I don't know, like 30 plus. There's the man the myth, the legend, Ski with Pete, reminding everybody to hit that like button. If you haven't already, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned in for future live streams and other reviews, electronic reviews and stuff. Remember, we are having a giveaway, a bunch of keyboard goodies. So make sure you subscribe to that as well. There is a Gleam IO link in the description. Super easy to get in on the giveaway. Please open it now. Jesper wants to know what it is. Anybody wants to take a guess? It is a Keyforge cap, so not many options. How about I give you guys a clue? It is a ForgeMez cap for anybody that's staying tuned to that. Dun, dun, dun. I did just recently get this in the mail. Let's see. Can you guys guess what color it is? That might give you a clue onto what ForgeMez cap it might be. Alright. I'm going to switch to action cam because it's much easier to see it there. Is it focusing? Not very well. Come on, focus. I believe in you. It's kind of hard to see the full effect. There we go. It is a Hemerocalis Shishi, so it is the day one ForgeMez cap that I was lucky enough to win. Very sparkly, very purple, very interesting way of doing it. So it's basically a full translucent cap, but all the shading has been kind of done with like the sparkles and stuff. So it's, when you put it on the LEDs, it's blocked out. It just blocks out the light, and that's what gives it depth. I was super excited to win this. This is my first Keyforge cap, so it's a hell of a way to start the collection. But yeah, so that will be going on here at the end of the stream. Here, let's see. I'll keep it over here. Cool. Yeah, and of course it's purple. There's no way it wasn't going to be purple. And I don't even know. Purple wasn't even my favorite color, like, ever. But there's just something about purple in keyboards that it just feels so right. And it's a real struggle because nobody's purples match. So we need to, like, as a community, get together and just everybody just do the same purple so everything works together. Same with like the pinks. All the pinks out there are completely different. Steph would agree with that. She doesn't like having to match pink stuff. So close. Yeah, it is. It does have some, the shading. So the stuff that he used to black out isn't necessarily like purple. And the actual resin does fade a little bit from like a more like pinkish lavender to a deeper purple, but the color effect is mostly given by the sparkles and whatever opaque, I guess opaque resin he used at the top. It's definitely a really cool cap. My favorite color outside of keyboards is green and black. So my terminal board is my IRL favorite colors, but all my other purple boards are all my favorite keyboard colors. And that's all I have is Panzer's like, you have enough switches. You'd be surprised. 60 switches, 60 plus. Yeah, once I finish these, we should be good. Let me speed it up. We've been talking a lot. Let me get to it. I still gotta put springs in here and close them up. Boom. But let's see. What about you guys? Anybody in any group buys recently? There's a lot of stuff coming out over the holidays, or leading up to the holidays. A lot of group buys seem to have happened, as well as a lot of drama with group buys, it seems. I'm almost positive I still don't have enough switches, but we're gonna stop after these last 5. Yeah, Daniel, we are, so these are cherry red switches, and the springs on here are 45 grams. So I'm switching to 80 gram springs, which are stiffer, they're much heavier springs, and it's not a weight that you can get stock from any switch. I do like heavier switches, which is why we're doing that. The other reason I was opening this, if you didn't catch it, is because these cherry switches come with diodes inside the case, inside the switch, that we do not need for this build. So I am forced to open these and remove the diodes anyways. So all right. Alright, I'm gonna move this stuff off of the desk and into a plastic baggie. And then we'll put the gold springs on them, which should be really... Bagel bites are delicious. Yeah, bagel bites are delicious. I will sort through this later. Probably repurpose these diodes for something else. Ah. Hey guys, we have 28 people watching and only 16 likes. We got some slackers out there that aren't hitting that like button. Get some water. All right, and now the actual spring swaps. Probably should have been a little bit more organized about this, but it is what it is. Boom. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Let's see. Panzer, Pete would say send them some Bitcoin. You can definitely support that way. There used to be a link, a different link. I can't remember if it still exists. Yeah, that's the one. Before we started doing super chats for camera and stuff, it used to be you could donate money for Pete to buy some coffee, and then he would drink coffee on the stream. Let's see. Let's see. I knew it. I knew there was Bitcoin donation. Oh, there's an unopened switch. Got a fugitive over here. I'll get to you in a bit. Alright. Oh, did I miss a question? The keyboard bottom plate. Yeah, no, that is a fully milled aluminum case. That is solid as it comes, and then the weight is brass. So it's a two-part. The weight just slides in, as I showed earlier. Where's the spring? Doing spring modding on camera is probably the most stressful thing I can do. So I'm slightly shakier than usual, and it makes everything so much harder. And I should probably invest in a little modding station, but I honestly never really see the benefit to it, other than if you're like leaving stuff like halfway and you plan on coming back, then at least everything's neatly organized. But if you're doing it all in one shot, I feel like it's more time consuming that way. Favorite operating system? Pete would say Linux, for sure. I don't know which release he uses or build. I think he says Ubuntu is what he uses the most. I'm just straight Windows, although I'm not that fond of Windows 10. Still think Vista is the superior operating system. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm still running 7 on my main computer, actually. I had the free Windows 10 upgrade, and it totally messed my computer up, so I said forget it, and just stayed on 7. But it's probably about time I upgraded. I was on OS X for a long time, but maybe only up until 10.2, I think, Snow Leopard. And that is because I work with a lot of video, and back then it was kind of the way to go. Honestly, though, OS X is just not that great anymore. Let's see. So for those of you in chat, what is your current daily driver keyboard? I like to see what everybody's typing on. Yeah, ME is the way to go. I still have my copy of ME, man. That was also a giant bust. I think still, ME is still worse than Vista. ME was unusable. Buckling Springs in Cherry Mike's house. There was a group buy of somebody trying to do it, and there was like a Kickstarter, and I don't think that it was ever successful. I don't think it went anywhere. There was samples made, and there seemed to be a lot of interest, but then I think it fizzled out. I really don't know. I think something happened at the manufacturing stage, and they just never happened. But I could be wrong. Maybe there are fucking Spring MX switches out there, and I just totally missed out. Somebody asked what I work with. I use Premiere. Used to be like everybody else who does video. A lot of it was based on Final Cut Pro 7, and then when X first came out, a lot of people abandoned ship, myself included, and started using Premiere just because it was an easier all-in-one solution along with the Adobe suite. Got it. $10 to the 360 camera fund, if I can find the marker.
Yeah, that rubs off.
Yeah. Don't want me to Sharpie it onto the desk?
No.
No.
Second drawer, I think.
I think not.
Pete's saying second drawer.
Pete's wrong. Oh wait, maybe not. Is this it? Some weird Japanese marker?
I don't know.
Yeah, board marker. Okay. What did he say? $10?
Yeah.
There we go. $10 at it. Thanks to whoever contributed to the 360 camera fund. What up, Atari? Bummer you have to go to a meeting. Thanks for stopping by, though. We'll have to catch up later. Let me see. So we got Ducky Shine 6. Nice. Solid full size. Wait, is that a full size beast? I always forget. Then minivan Arrow. Okay, roll. Which generation minivan is that? Like a group, like the round 1 group buys, or is that a later version? I don't know if they ever did any fixes. I remember we tried one here, and it had a ton of flex on the PCB. And minivan G10 Plus. All right, standard gamer stuff. Oh, type cover on my Surface. No, throw that out and get yourself a 40%. G60 in a plastic case. Acceptable. What kind of switches you got on there, Miguel? Anchor bait in the house. Sup, anchor bait. I am making a round 1 Fjell numero dos with some spring swap cherry red silent reds and Hyperfuse DSA on a carbon fiber plate because carbon fiber is the dopest. A round 2 match drop 1. Nice. Panzer, thanks for your contribution to the 360 Camera Fund. Later, Panzer. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you around next time. Whenever that is. What? I lube stabs. I won't let you suffer through that again. I won't do that to you, don't worry. That was pretty painful. I literally got home and lubed them. I don't know why I didn't do it on stream. I was just trying to be obnoxious. Doom Apple, how are you liking those BKE domes? I've been hearing nothing but good things about them. What is a Cherry M8 switch? Is that like an Australian switch? It's like the Cherry Mate switch.
Do you want to use this thing?
Oi, mate. Nah, it's alright. I'm too deep into this for that to be of much assistance.
You can show people how to use it.
Steph is now handing me this sweet little station. This is a 3D printed switch modding station made by community member Mr. Rooks. It's pretty sweet. I mean, for those of you that have never used a modding station, basically I would have had all the switches in here. It's kind of more for like assembly line style work, which is why it kind of doesn't make sense for me to do it right now. But I'll do a couple. But normally you would have, you would have your bottoms in here, and then when you take your stuff out, you would have your switches, your stems placed there, and then you would slowly work your way in. If you're putting in your springs, you know, you have your full setup. And you do your spraying. Spraying, and then, you know, whether you needed lube or not, you'd lube and close. Boom. But in my case, since I already started by just making a pile of stuff, switching over to this doesn't really speed up. I would have to go in, drop every switch in here, and do that. If I had started on this and it was loaded with switches, then it would absolutely be faster. But honestly, the time it takes to do this, and opening switches for me is faster doing it this way, which is actually was Pete that was like, forget about opening from the top, open from the bottom. Opening from the top requires a little more finesse. This, you just jam the ends of the tweezer in, and the switches pop open relatively easy.
We do switch top openers if you want to show people how they work.
Yeah, we do have
Those
switch
little
top openers, and
flat
yeah, if
ones.
anybody's interested, I can do. Well, yeah, I have that one last switch that needs to be opened. Look like you're ready for some action.
I can't find what I'm looking for. It's not really the
Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. There's nothing but mods. This is the mod chat. Always. Ah. Let's see. It'll be a little heavier, but the ductility is perfect. Yeah. I don't remember what they were. What are they rated at? Are they like 65 gram? Alright, let's use this thing. Let's go the full assembly line way here. Let's see, like. I haven't silenced my Toper boards. I need to do that too. I only have the one, but I do want to. I do like the RF87 quite a bit. It has the 55 grams on it, which, like I said, I can't do anything light. Anchor bait. I'm glad you asked that because I forgot it's not on camera right now. We're using this gloriousness. This is the One-Up Keyboards Nerd GON 60. Yeah, boy. The GON NerD 60, not Nerd GON 60. Yeah. Special matte black One-Ups version. Grab a bunch of these. Nope. Guess I might as well keep using this thing now. Let's see. 40% with ISO layout. I'm not entirely sure. Can the minivan do ISO? I feel like it's just that enter just kind of gets in the way of so many keys that would have to be one of the bigger ISOs. I think that there was an ISO JD45 version. I think that's it though. You know what? I think I opened way more switches than I needed to now that I think about it. I think I did enough for a TKL. Whoever said I had enough switches might have been right. I think I pulled 6 rows of 20.
6 rows of 20.
I think I might have opened close to 120 switches. I'm like, why am I so low on springs? Yeah, because this is a row of 10. Yeah. Whoopsie. Opening switches for days. That's alright. Sure, it'll come in handy for another silent red build. Anchor bait with a 40% hate. Yeah, honestly, I think JD45 is the only thing that can do that is in that 40% range that can do ISO. And you trying to sneak in here? Yeah, but even at 40% isn't going to be true ISO. You're still going to have layers and stuff, because even an ANSI layout 40% is missing so much stuff on the regular, like all punctuations and stuff are not where they should be. So if you believe that typing ANSI is annoying for your language, pretty sure you're going to be pretty annoyed on a 40%, regardless of what language or layout you use. I mean, there's two types of ISO enters. There's a really big one, and then there's like a skinnier one. I think the Spanish ISO is like a super skinny, you know, the weird shape, L-shaped enter, compared to the regular ISO. And then there's an even bigger one. Isn't there like a double wide ISO enter as well? Yeah, 60% ISO you can do on almost every board. The one thing, yeah, you have to worry about most is the plate. But almost, I would say 90% of all the PCBs that are out there support ISO. Alright, I'm going to stop here since that was all the springs and there's 65 packs. 65 spring packs. where do I want to put this? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab a baggie. All right, I'm gonna clear this out. It seems like I definitely did way more than I needed to. Anchor bait, I'm going to use universal 60%. Going to do wind keyless layout with split backspace. Originally, as part of this build, I kind of wanted to do a Seal 60, and I was gonna try to get my hands on a polycarb or acrylic plate. But you know what? I love the way my Keycap feels with the carbon fiber plate, and this is gonna be pretty close. This is kind of the sister build in more than one way, so I figured might as well go with something I already know I really like. All right, and so there we go. That is what I'm going to be using. Good old universal, and I gotta grab stabs as well.
Bag on the floor.
Black stabs.
Bag on the floor.
Bag on the floor. No. I'm not seeing it, Stephanie. Am I going blind? I can't tell what's prepackaged and what isn't. No.
I know. Don't ask.
I can't tell. Alright, and I'm gonna do black stabs. No need for fancy translucent. Wind keyless. Yeah, I'm gonna use carbon fiber. So we'll be using the carbon fiber universal plate WK layout on this puppy. What is the Neo layout? Not sure that I know which one that is. Alright. Let's do these real quick. And again, this is a full GON NerD 60, so it does have the Bluetooth compatibility and everything else you could possibly want. Just got the limited matte black with the gold, and yeah, what else? Alright, I hate stabs. Stabs are the worst. Gen as in generic stabs? I don't know what gen stabs are. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with all the foreign layouts. So are the same steps we'll always use, pre-clipped. And what did I just do wrong here? Oh, stuck it in the wrong way. Wow, that I would never be able to use that middle row. Alright, what have I done here? Cool. I need 3. They are not genuine cherry stabs. Honestly, as far as quality, I've never had any issues with these. I'll have to check that link after the stream is over, Doom Apple. Yeah, guys, for everybody that's just showing up now, make sure to give us a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. What time is it? 1:30. I'm making decent time. Boom. 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, oh, I forget. What size spacebar do I need? I need a 7U, right? Now, leave this a 6 in the corner. Do we have 7U wires, right? I forget where they are.
Yeah, we do. They're just on the cutting table.
Alright, and a 7U stab. Set this aside. Look at this. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and place this in here. Great. That was a quick meeting, Atari. Alright. And I'm just currently putting stabs in, popping these into place, and after they're in place, I'll lube them up real quick. Oh snap! Atari with the big super chat. Thank you very much, dude. Let's move this stuff over here. Holy moly.
Wow. Thank you. Amazing.
And that
Merry
brings
Christmas.
us, yeah, Merry Christmas. That brings us to 193. Clean that out. Boom. Almost halfway to the goal. That was great. Thanks again, Atari. Much appreciated. Alright, and then 7U. I never remember the positions for these things.
Super amazing. Thank you so much, Atari. Merry Christmas to you too.
What? Anchor bait. What are you talking about? Are these not good for you? Damn it, I never remember where these go. There's only one spot you can fit into. Sorry, I'm just currently doing this a little off camera, just because it's easier to do it closer to my body. Alright, and let's see. It's like lube it now. And I forget where the lube is. I hope we still have lube. That's not it. Uh-oh. And where is this stuff? One second, guys. Can't seem to remember where the lube is. Guys, I can't find the lube. I think we're just gonna have to go dry.
What? It's in one of the little drawers up top.
You sure?
Yeah, there's one with the yellow. You see the yellow little... Yeah, it should be in that drawer.
No, that's not the one I'm looking for.
It should be in behind it though.
No, those are... What's that? I'm looking for the soup.
Two.
The super lube. There we go.
Beside it.
Fine, fine, fine. I'll lube. Some Crytox. Some thick stuff. Dip the stabs in dielectric grease. Oh man, you guys are terrible. just going to town over here. I got it. All right. Much better now. I'm actually going to really quickly. Put the lube away. You guys are the worst. Give me that. I need that quarter of a century like. Give me the 25, guys. Ah! I do lube jobs just for you. All right. I'm ready to start getting switches on here. Guess I'll keep this on here. Guess I will test this board real quick. If I can find the USB cable.
I'll put it to the side.
Yeah. Kind of remember sometimes where everything is. It's hard because I'm here. But I'm not doing this all the time. Why are you so short? Alright, here we go. Here we go. I'm just testing this right into the chat window. That's working. That's working. And that's still working, and that works. I'm just double checking this. Great. Cool. So tested. That's good. I always kind of double check. Sometimes the pre-built, if you touch around too much, the SMDs might come loose, but typically they're pretty good. All right. Boom. Let's get the first couple switches on here then. Yeah, I might eventually get into some box switches. Don't particularly find anything super crazy about them, but I also haven't tried them long term. Can't remember where this is gonna go. Okay. No, I'm just lining these up. Let's see if these legs are gonna be a pain in the butt. They're not. They're going in pretty smooth. Ow, that hurt. Great. So we're sitting nice and flush. Coolio. All right. It's going to start popping switches in. Box yellow better than vintage black. Than vintage black. Not vintage black, vintage black. Alrighty. One day I will master putting switches into boards. For now, I'm just getting by. Why are you guys pressing out of the plate? Has anybody tried the Hakos yet? I don't know, man. I feel like switches are just getting too ridiculous. Like, can we even really feel all the differences? I mean, I get the levels of smoothness and stuff, but it's like the different tactile feels, other than maybe like speed switches, and have such an early actuation that it actually makes a difference. All the other stuff just kind of blends together. Hako is shitty. We want Halos back. Well, can't you get them through mass drop? Or are they not even gonna bother? I didn't even keep up with that whole ordeal. It was just too much. Too much drama that didn't really need to be all that public, if you asked me. Yeah, guys, if you haven't yet, we have a giveaway. The link is in the description. Giving away some keyboard goodies. I believe there's a DIY cable in there, some stickers. We got one of those aluminum key switch, like one switch key rings, switch openers, key pullers. A lot of goodies that you probably want to have around for a keyboard building. Thank you, zombies. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of mass disappointment lately. I'm having issues with the plate, with the switches going into the plate. They're so tight that they're pushing down. That's why I'm kind of working it off camera. Alright. Damn, why you do this to me? Sorry guys, I'm just having issues with the switches pressing the plate down, and they're not sitting on the plate properly. Is that the dank? Is that the super cheap plank clone? That's I saw the headline. I didn't have a chance to check it out. Man, these switches are tight on this plate. They do not want to click in. I think you can hear me snapping them in. They are stiff as heck. This is gonna get fun. I'm gonna try to shove all of these into the PCB after the fact. Probably not gonna go over well. See if I can get some more of these in. What? We need more subs, guys. Does it count if you unsubscribe and subscribe again? Alright, I'm just gonna try to jam this in here. That's definitely going in smoother than before. continue. And I'm still having issue. Every time I try to get the switch in, it's pushing the plate down and not snapping in because the fitment's so tight. There we go. I think now that there's more switches in, it's gonna help it not do that anymore. Great. Hey guys, we're on that last push to 29K. So if you're here today watching, you want to stay tuned in for more keyboard builds, updates, and news, then hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, if you are subscribed, you can totally join our giveaway as well. It is down in the description. Got a bunch of keyboard goodies for you guys. Yeah, this edge ones are being a pain in the butt. Keep having switches that just don't want to click into the plate. JB got a dislike. No! Why? Who would do that? What is the way Pete does when putting switches in? Pete's a professional. I'm just here crashing the stream for entertainment. And I don't like clipping. No, but seriously, like, I'll show you guys the issue that I'm having. I'm not completely useless. You can see it here. Like, I can press, let's see. Like, I'm pressing these in, and it's just a small amount of flex that's on the plate and how tight the fitment is. I can't get the switch to click into the plate. So that is why I'm kind of holding it off camera right now, because I'm trying to put more effort. No, Oscar, the Moon group buy has not shipped yet. It is currently delayed. Mira has started shipping though, which is a good sign because they are kind of they're being manufactured by the same person. So as soon as Miras are done shipping, Moons are next on the list. But they are all done. I've seen pictures. They look phenomenal. And let's see. Nope, I just can't get this one to click into the plate. Really obnoxious. I'm gonna try a different switch. Nope, that one spot. It's just so tight. Alright, sorry guys, I'm just really trying to put some muscle behind it. There's already so many switches in that I don't have a whole lot of room to push it back. get it to click in. There it is. Got him. Jeebus. This always happens. Just some of these things are just a pain in my butt. You know what? I'm gonna do these edges first again. There we go. Boom. Oh yeah, there's any who has wooden keyboards? I know I've seen a couple members, I can't remember exactly who, that have some custom wooden cases. Steph, I'm not used to hearing you typing and not being super clicky.
Yeah. What happens when I have to go in my character.
Alright. We're getting close. Switch down. So what's everybody getting for Christmas? Any keyboard related stuff? And let's see. This I believe will go here. A glass keyboard case. I don't know how I feel about that. Alright, I'm gonna leave these last one out. I gotta check the spacebar. Boom. But that's... Am I short a switch? 1, 2. Yeah, I am short 3 switches. Let's see. And 7U. Alright, so now that I got the spacebar in, I just gotta figure out 1, 2, I'm short 2 switches, which I definitely have. That's another one. And 1, 2, 3. Two more. All right, I'll be right back. just finishing up 2 switches. Let's see. Oh, Mage, what Clipe did you get? You got any pictures of it? Post them up. Yeah, this PCB supports a number of different layouts, HHKB and ISO included. I am doing a win keyless with a split backspace. Because I like split backspaces. And I just dropped a spring. There it is. Boom. And boom. Alright. And I need to start going through these keys now to figure out where these go. I'm almost certain. Almost certain it's one in. Come on. Should be that. Good. And good. All right. I just need to take a second here to find the Winkeyless controls and stuff just to verify that the bottom row is good. Where it is. That's a regular one. That's way too big. That's the cap slot. Substitute. That's also 1.5. Where are the 1.5s? There we go. So, yeah, that's good there. That's good there. I'm just test fitting to make sure these are at the right position, and that's good there. Cool. And hoping that this doesn't pull the switch out. And you're good there. You're good there. And you're good there. Great. I actually got it right for once on my own. And he's fine. Just whatever you like, just repeat it. I like eel avocado is fine. Yeah, I like Philly rolls and eel avocado.
One more?
And one more. Is there any sort of like crunchy tuna?
No, they don't do. That's a separate one. It doesn't come with this nice little lunch
Oh, then
meal.
spicy tuna is fine.
And
I'll do soup. Thank you, Steph. All right, I'm gonna fire up the soldering iron and solder cam for that effect. And where is this? Boom, and that's good. All right, I'm gonna move this. For those of you that weren't here earlier when I was showing it off, I got a day one forge mesh shishi that is going on here for fun, because you know all keyboard builds need at least one artisan, right? And I'm gonna move these caps out of the way. I'm gonna move the case out of the way too so I don't get any splatter on it. Some extra housing, some extra diodes. Wait. Cool. Alright, everything is in position here. Just waiting for the soldering iron to heat up. I'm not bragging. I'm just showing off. Listen, man, it's a luck game. Everybody has an equal chance. Looks solid. Just making sure I didn't bend any pins, and I did notice. Everything looks good. Right now I'm just checking that everything looks like it's sitting evenly. All right. Oh, are you talking about the beam spring board? Could I get a little cup of water? I forgot. I'll be right back. Actually, pour one out for my homies here. What's that?
I was like, how much of a mess can you make?
Oh, not that bad. There we go. Cool. All right. All right. Who's ready to solder cam? Because I'm not. And use the thick stuff. We'll start up here. Alright, I'm just going to make sure that this is working alright for me before I full on switch to solder cam. I don't want to make a fool out of myself. And we are good. Alright guys, buckle up. We're soldering as soon as I can find this button. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. Alright. This spot is tight here. Steph, I forgot. Do you mind opening the door? Just a little bit.
Where's the fan?
I don't know. Give me one sec. Once I finish this row, I'll set it up. Is it, oh, is it pre-powered?
It has the, I don't know where that.
Oh. I don't
know
either.
where that
I don't know either. Forgot to set up the fan. I'm just trying to find the power plug for it. 1 second, guys.
is. Still be something. No, then still this one. I don't know where the other one is.
There's an outlet. Alright. Now I got some additional ventilation for this. The one is not spinning. Why is that one fan not spinning? One fan will have to do. Let's see. I can't tell which way the fan is blowing, but alright. Let's go to row 2. Is that not working? There we go. Sorry, I'm a little quiet. This usually takes a bit of concentration here. Just gonna keep going.
Hello? Hiya. Okay, great, thanks. Bye. That was quick.
Oh.
That's crazy quick.
I'm gonna stop for a second. That switch needs to be pushed in a little bit more. Let's see. There we go. Cool. Hey, meanish, that's mean. I just forgot it once. Okay? Okay. Listen guys, this stream is hard stuff. You forget that this is Pete's home base. I'm just here to hang out and cause trouble.
Pretty sure I'm third at 37.
I see Alien Man's in the house. What's up, Alien Man? Hey guys, sorry I'm quiet. Just trying to get through this pretty quick. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Give me some of those likes or dislikes, depending on what you think. Preferably just likes. And then, yeah, and for those of you just tuning in, I am in the middle of soldering one-up keyboards exclusive GON NerD 60 PCB with cherry red silence with 80-gram spring, so we swapped in heavier springs. And all of this will be going into a round 1 purple Fjell with a brass weight, which I will show you guys as soon as I am done here. Come on. And to top it off, I'll be using Hyperfuse DSA. Alright. Looks like that is it. Before I kill the soldering iron, I'm just going to make sure that everything is soldered. Good. Top row is good. Second row looks good. Third row is good. Fourth row is good. And bottom row is good. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off, tin it, and shut her down. Confident we will not have any issues that will require. That would require me to resolder. And let's see. Let me catch up with some of these conversations here. See what kind of crap you guys are talking. Well, a lot of talking about the beam springboard. And oh, so electric caps on beam spring, yeah. That would be cool. Raul, I guess he left. Bye, Raul. And Alien Man's in. I already said hi to Alien Man. He did not say hi back. I am bummed. And yeah, make sure you guys smash that like button if you're getting in. And if you're new here, this is Ski with Pete channel. I am JB. I am just doing a guest stream today building this lovely board. And alright, so this is the case that this is going into. This is a round 1 Fjell with a brass weight, numero 2. And I'm going to go ahead and just get the screw weights in, just for those of you that have not seen it before. This is a 2-piece with a super solid brass weight. Gives this keyboard a lot of heft, and the best part is sliding this sucker in. It's a perfect fit. And I got my 2 screws over here. Boom and boom. Let me get a screwdriver for it. Leave. Oh, too small. Too big. and just right. I'm just gonna hand tighten this and go in. Boom. Cool. All right. Before I start screwing down this PCB, I'm just gonna pop it in the case, so it's kind of got loose fitment in there, and I'm gonna check that the keys work. There we go. Actually, don't know that this USB cable is gonna fit in here. It might actually. Just flipping this around so I can see what I'm doing. Where did that go? Great. And I did clean the weight. I polished it a little bit this morning. It is a fingerprint magnet. Alright. I guess I could run the tester. All the keys seem to work. Let me see. New tab. Keyboard tester. Launch the tester. And let's see, is this the right button? There we go. And I'm just doing it backwards because there we go. Instantly recognizes the split backspace, which is awesome. Great. Did two of these not register? And that would be the S. Oh, there it is. That's all good. Enter is good. And then skip something. Or did I skip? That's all good. And this bottom row is always funky, but as long as that registers. Ah! Solid. Alright. Successful soldering job. High fives to myself. And I'm gonna go ahead and screw this puppy in before we move on to keycaps. But before I do that, since I'm done soldering, I'm gonna close the door because it's cold. Anybody. All right. There's not much you can do about the weight. Unfortunately, these come uncoated. Usually brass, because it is very easy to whatchamacallit. It corrodes very easy. If you have any oils or anything on your skin when you touch it, or if anything gets on it, it will basically tarnish the brass. If it was visible, I would be more worried about it. I gave it a quick polish this morning with some toothpaste that really cleaned up a lot. Like, if you had seen it before, it was hardly brass colored. It was more like a murky brown. So yeah, if it was exposed, I'd be more concerned. But right now, I'm not. Nobody's ever gonna see it after this. The chances that I will take this board apart are very, very slim. So right now I'm just getting these screws in loose, and then I will kind of torque them all like I would if I was putting on a car wheel. And just go in a circular order. I want to make sure you leave enough play so you can kind of move around to make sure everything lines up. I already did it, Brum. I tinned it and shut it off. Don't worry. Alright, so this is pretty good in here. Trying to see if there's any play left and I can get it more centered. So a little bit of side-to-side play. I think right there is solid. I just lock in the center. Boom, and then just go around. Yeah. Cool. Just double checking that these are good. Great. Everything's in. And I can get to keycapping. Boom. All right, Atari. Hope your meeting's not too boring. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. We'll hopefully see you around. All right, and now the next painful part of every build is sorting out the caps, but I'll get the spacebar in here. Great, no rattles. Hope you're happy, Mange. And super painful finding all the big fat shift. That's not the right one. Alright, I'm just gonna dump this here. Go through it really quick. Ah! This would be the escape I used, but since we have Artisan, I'm gonna use that instead. And the sprue marks are on top. Does that look correct? Yep. So, or not. Sprue marks seem to be on the bottom on this one. There will be no arrows. This is the only thing with DSA, is that sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out where stuff goes. that's gonna be down here. It's a decent match between the purples. It's a little darker, but don't need that. 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, nope. Actually, yes. That's pretty good, right? Could maybe get a little tweaking later, but QWE. These are pretty quiet. Nope, nope. Honestly, I haven't built a DSA board in a long, long time. Because I have a blank DSA set and then I have a deep space DSA set. And that's all the DSA I've used. Oh yeah. Should I have built an ISO board? Nah. Enter's too big, bro. I guess. No. Is this the right one? Yes, it is. And alright, I'll get some more caps on here. You guys are no use to me. What is all this? I'm getting work emails even though I'm off until the end of the year. That's great. I'm not doing, never gonna do ISO. One day maybe. The problem is that I don't type ISO. I guess I could do like ISO English, like just regular, but I just don't know. That shift could probably use a little more lube. Don't need you. Oh shoot, I forgot scoops. I forgot about DSA scoops. Super short shift. Yeah, how do you guys like scoops? Do you feel like you definitely need homing? I feel like I get away with not using homing on smaller boards. That's right. CX. VB. I always forget, is it NM? MN? NM. Boom. QRT UIO. Peace. And this UI. The essay. Yeah, do anybody... I guess you have to buy the other kits to get all your fancy letters. Never thought about that. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't have a full kit that carries all the Euro stuff. Keeping you here. I guess I forget. There should be a different color of that one. Now that I think about it. Nope. 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 Yep. What do you guys think? Should I use the alternate color enter? Slowly getting there. Oh, you know what I totally didn't think about? Stepped caps lock. Maybe next time. Yeah. Just a couple left here. Nope. J. 6. This feels right. Oh, getting close. Clearly I missed some caps. There's the scoops. I did not see the other 1.5. Oh, there it is. And question mark. There it is. And the O, it's going to be one of the 0 looking guys. Boom. And I'm missing 0. Is there no... I can't remember what the proper HHKB backspace order is. Is it is the tilde at the one end? Or is it at the other end? Might have to look online. Let's see. Can never remember the right order. Let's see. HHKB. Correct. That and boom. And the regular caps lock. Sweet. I'm gonna put these away. Let me see. Do I need the scoops? Nice. What do you guys think? Should I keep the purple hyperfuse or should I match them? And how do you guys feel about scoops? Should I use the scoops or no? I'm gonna guess no. I'm not using an escape key because I have an Artisan to put there. What I do think, what do you think? Should I use the inverted enter colors? I think that'll give it a nice little whatchamacallit, nice little contrast. We'll swap it out. That's what I thought, BMMC. And welcome to the stream. Alright. If you guys are just joining, don't forget to give me a like. Give us a like. Thumbs up. And, where did I put my Artisan? And, although we are coming to the end of the stream. Oh, my bag broke. The keycaps might be quality, but the bag, a little struggling. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it just ripped right through. But anyways, this is what is going on. The enter key, and I'll switch to action cam. So for those of you that haven't seen it, I was lucky enough to win day one Shishi. And that is going to be my escape key. Boom. It's kind of like the perfect height for DSA. All right, and that is pretty much the end of the build. For those of you that didn't get to see it, basically we built HHKB, listen to me. Round 1 Fjell with a brass weight. Number 2, round 1. We use MX red silence with the spring swap. I had to take out a bunch of diodes, so we decided to go ahead and do the spring swap. And we used the 1-up keyboards, our new GON NerD 60 PCBs on a carbon fiber plate, and Hyperfuse DSA. And now I'll just type for you guys a little bit. GeoStrapper thinks the custom key ruins the whole board. No way.
Personal opinion.
Yeah, personal opinion. What? I think it looks awesome. What don't you like about it, Geo? Yeah, I mean, I'm well aware. Artisans are not for everybody. I think it's a pretty close match. Again, the purples are infinitely impossible to match. I will say these cherry reds are definitely need some lubing. I'll probably do that at a later time on my own. But I dig it. Honestly, I've typed on Pete's. I don't know if you guys remember. He built the Fjells right when they first came out. I've had this one for just about the same amount of time, but it went unbuilt. But he used SA, he used Modern Selectric SA on his blue Clipe, and that was a tall board. DSA on this board really makes it a little more compact, and the caps are low profile enough that you really pay attention to the case, which I really like. It kind of, the angle of the side of the case in person and where the keycaps end kind of matches up. And I'll do a little action cam pass here for you guys to see it from a lower angle. So you can kind of tell. Maybe I'll switch it here so you see a profile of it. It might help you understand what I'm talking about. You kind of see like this angle here. It's just flush with it. Like it's one straight angle to the top of the caps. So definitely I feel like DSA might fit the Fjell better than some of the other profiles. Cherry profile probably looks good too, but the roundedness of DSA totally makes it for me. I'm super happy with it. Like I said, I definitely think the reds could use some lube, but silents are definitely quiet. I mean, probably ultimate office board if you wanted to have a very nice board at the office and not annoy the crap out of everybody you work with. All right. I think that is it for this stream, guys. Make sure you guys check out oneupkeyboards.com for any of your keyboard needs. We used 1-up keyboards, carbon fiber plate, stabilizers, 1-up keyboard exclusive GON NerD 60 PCB, our gold 80-gram springs inside of the Cherry MX reds, and most of that is available on oneupkeyboards.com. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. I'll take any last minute likes before we sign off. But that is it. This might be the last stream of the year. I don't know if Pete has anything planned.
Before Christmas, I would say.
Okay. So we might have one last stream coming from the man himself. And but this will be my last stream of the year. So I'm off on winter break. But thanks again for everybody who tuned in for this middle of the day, middle of the week hump day build. And we'll see you again soon. Bye, everybody. Oh, before I forget, I might be signing off, but the chat continues somewhere. If I can find the button that says the chat continues. Let's see. Pete, where is the button?
You can go to the
Is
Discord.
that it?
In the Discord, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the stream is over, but the chat continues. And Mange, you're here. Post up that Discord link. Send everybody over there. I'll be joining you guys in a little bit in there to have some fun. But thanks again, and see y'all later.